Hello, this video is about decluttering a very big dog. And we just came in from the rain, so she's a little bit wet. And I really only can do like one side at a time. So we're going to start on her left side. You ready, girl? And it's funny because she actually likes the slicker brush, which I haven't figured out why yet. But I guess maybe because she has so much fur that I can't like get down to the skin, which is good for her. Now I also save all of the fur that I brush off of her. Not the knots that I might have to cut. Isn't that right, girl? No, because you want the fur that as it naturally comes out. And one day when I feel like I have enough, you need pounds of it. I will send it off to have it woven into thread, and maybe I'll pick up knitting by then, and I'll make a lovely blanket out of the Pyrenees fur. Yes, hello. She's a beautiful girl, and we try to keep her appearance up. The brushing, though, on rainy days is probably not such a grand idea, because if it rains tomorrow, then we'll have to start all over again. But that'll be all right because I'll be getting her other side tomorrow. But if you look, the fur comes out in large bundles with each swipe of the brush, but she gets a good body scratch out of it. And then I'll cut her nails and brush her teeth. She's super good about that. She loves the toothpaste, and she's very patient with the nail clippers. So really couldn't ask for a better girl. She's the best girl ever, aren't you? Now she knows that this is coming up. She doesn't care for the back end being brushed very much. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, the back end and her tail, she does not care for. So you can tell the difference already. She was laying back and enjoying it. And then when I paused a little bit and started talking a little bit more, she kind of knew that I was done with that part of her and sat right up because she knew what was coming. But I'm looking forward to maybe one day having a blanket of white fur made from white fur with these little flecks of gray in it. And then I can say that was She Bear. Yes, She Bear. All right. So She Bear is a nickname for her because when I adopted her, I had another Great Pyrenees, and his name was Bear. And she was a female, and I named her Sheba, but She Bear really seemed to fit. Now, one thing about this brushing, if you really, really, really wanted to get every last bit of fur that's loose off, it'll never happen. So what you try to do is just get as much as you can off, especially when the seasons are turning, because it serves as both an air conditioner and a heater. Keeps her warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So you never shave a Great Pyrenees, and they don't need a bath very often. And I think that's because their origin was just being mountain dogs, taking care of goats in the mountains. So they never had groomers. Now, because she's not a working dog, she does get a lot of knots on her belly. and I use scissors for that, but that's not on the agenda tonight. I just had it in the same spot as the brush. Hey, baby. And now I'm going to go behind her and try to get her back a little bit better. On her neck. See, she's still wet from our short little walk outside. She really didn't want to go anywhere, even with the umbrella. She just peed and was ready to come right back in. Aw. Just look at that face. And she's the most patient, gentle. It wasn't always this way. When she was younger and I brushed her backside, she would try to bite me. And she was successful a lot. So I'm going to climb up behind her and try to catch as much of her back as I can. You had to roll over. I can't get your back and sit down. I have to stand. I have to stand. This really won't be as thorough as I'd like to do, but it's kind of late at night. So I just want her to be comfortable. And getting these knots off is a great way to start. And I haven't found any knots yet, which is wonderful. Usually by now I might have found 5 or 6 that I'd have to cut off with the scissors. There we go. Oh, there's some there. So I'll check those out with the scissors tomorrow. Rather than trying to brush through them, I'll brush around them. And that way it'll be easier to find them, because the other loose fur that might get tangled up in the knots will be gone. So it'll be a lot easier. There we go. She's quiet as a mouse. The only time that she really barks is when she's protecting the house. So if she hears an unusual sound, she'll start barking, but she's quiet as a mouse at night. We live in a quiet neighborhood, so that's a good thing. If we lived in a busier neighborhood, she would probably be barking all the time. But the bag I've just about filled just from brushing this. Well, it's not a small area, but not quite all of her. And whatever knots that I get off of her belly, which I'm sure there's a few, those will have to go straight in the trash. You can't send those in to have them woven into the thread. And it seems a shame to have to throw any of her fur away. We call it glitter because it goes everywhere, just like glitter does. Oh, not a good spot, huh? Tell them that you're just the bestest dog in the world. Yes, you are. And a couple more back scratches, and we'll be done for tonight. But I thought you might enjoy seeing what it's like having to care for a big hairy beast like a Great Pyrenees. So I'll get a little bit of her tail, but I'll spread it out. I don't want to do it all tonight. She's pretty chill right now, and I hate to disrupt that by getting to a rough spot on her tail. We'll just do a couple of brushes through it. And hopefully the rain will be gone tomorrow when we go on our walk, so that she won't get all tangled again. All right. So there we go. It's a brushing Sheba video. Have a good night. Hey, baby. You're good girls.